Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing off some Battlefield 5 gameplay and performance. Main highlight of course will be ray tracing. The first thing I'm going to do is of course show off the in-game settings. So using a resolution of 2560x1440, 75 field of view. In the advanced settings, DirectX 12 is enabled, DXR is enabled, and of course everything else is at ultra. So let's see how the game performs, but before that, today's video is brought to you by SCD Key. SCD Key is a key reseller for platforms such as Steam, Origin, Uplay and PlayStation. Right now you can grab Battlefield 5 for 26% off. Just use my affiliation link down below to save yourself a further 3% off your purchase. You can also grab software such as Windows 10 Pro OEM. Just use my affiliation link again to save yourself an extra 10% off your order. Submit your purchase and use your payment method of choice. Once the checkout phase is complete, activation really couldn't be any easier. Just click the get key option, which you receive instantly. Copy this key into the change product key section of Windows 10. Once you've done that, click next and hit activate to complete the process. So right now getting around 50 to medium 60 frames per second. A bit of lag. Seems to be a bit of lag every time the game starts, but then eventually it smoothens itself out. The game does look stunning with the ray tracing enabled. Like the Rotterdam level really does show off the reflections very well, and it's highly requested by most of my audience. There's a massive shootout here. I'm gonna try and avoid too much trouble, because really I just really want to show off performance more than anything. So you can see you can drop down to as low as 41 frames per second in some areas of the map, even 40. So if you're buying ray tracing, if you're buying an RTX 2080 Ti expecting to do 60 frames per second at 1440p, everything ultra, and ray tracing enabled, you're going to be sadly mistaken. It does look really good though. Unfortunately, most of us aren't willing to compromise in performance just to see some nice reflections. Now, what I've learned is dropping the ray tracing quality option from ultra down to low. Sure, it does drop a bit of quality, but it's still... Okay, it got taken out there. So the game still looks nice, and you don't take as much of a performance here. So I'm going to show you an example of that right now. Wait till I can respawn. I'm going to try and stay out of the heavily action areas because I'm not going to be alive long enough to actually demonstrate this. So what I'm going to do, I'll find a puddle first, or so we can have a good look at the actual reflections and how they change. So here's the car. Here you can actually see my player's character, and obviously you got puddles here as well. So we're getting around 45 frames per second right now. I'm going to just quickly duck down so I don't get killed. I'm going to change the settings of the ray tracing quality from ultra down to low. And you can see how much of a performance increase we got. We're getting around 70 frames per second now rather than the 44 we'll get in a moment ago. You can still see my character's reflection. The only difference is the reflections are a bit of a lower resolution. So I think if you're going to run ray tracing, you really should either run it at medium or low, because it's not worth the performance it to run at ultra. Okay, so let's get into the fight now. See if we can take out one or two enemies. So the aim of the game right now is to see if we can maintain 60 frames per second while ray tracing is enabled. Granted, it is at low, but I think this is the compromise that we should be making if you really want to run ray tracing at above 1080p with general settings at ultra. There's so much bullets flying from there. Man, I was aiming right at his face and I just couldn't connect somehow. Okay, so I'm not going to hold on for my teammates to revive. I'll go to a different area of the map so you guys can see. Let's see now. Let's go into... stay back a bit because there's a lot of gunfire coming down the street, but again in the open street you can see the shadows and the reflections look just as nice. Just a bit of a lower resolution, but I think it's a compromise I'm willing to take just to keep performance playable. So keeping in the 70s and definitely above 60 frames per second. What happens when you're trying to be a one-man army, you don't get very far. Again, can't really knock the reflections, I think they look awesome. Definitely enhances how the game looks. Even on low, it looks still pretty decent. Alright, took me out as well. Come on, revive me, man. Finally someone doing their job. Playing as a team, just making sure we don't get flanked. Yep, I knew someone was going to come down here, but just popped me with 1 or 2 shots, so it didn't last too long.